Today we have a Halloween special as we are discussing the best horror movies of all time and pick our collective top 10. Get ready for some controversial choices on the Late Night Movie Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 48th episode of the Late Night Movie Podcast, your place for movie reviews, hot takes, and quiz shows. I'm your host, Welchy, and joining me tonight is Mr. Pop Figures himself, Andy.
Hello, guys. Pleasure to be back. Yeah, excited to see who says the controversial choices in this one. Might not be me. Might be Stephen.
It could be anyone. And our resident horror expert, Stephen.
Hello, guys. Yeah, pleasure to be back as always. I love the fact that you think that there's going to be some controversial picks before we've even
Well,
got going with the list.
I know there's some horror films that you love that I absolutely hate, and if you try and choose any of those, I'm chucking them out the window.
Depends what I choose.
I just think, yeah, as Andy said, there's going to be some choices that we don't all agree on. Let's put it that way.
And there's a lot of good horror films, so it'll be tough even choosing like a top 10 anyway.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I've come with more than 10. I've got my 10
Yeah, I've got.
that I think would be my list. Obviously, we're not doing that. We're making a collective list. But then I've got some that I think you two might say and that I would kind of accept kind of thing. But let's get straight into it. Obviously, as mentioned in the cold open, we are picking our top 10 horror movies. But before we do that, let's do some quick housekeeping. Of course, this is the Late Night Movie Podcast. We drop 2 episodes a week, typically on a Tuesday and a Thursday. If you enjoy the podcast, then please do consider following or subscribing on your favorite podcast service and also leave a rating, as that really helps support the podcast. You can follow us on all major socials with our new handle, The Late Night Pods. So that is at The Late Night Pods. We've changed it to have a kind of an umbrella brand rather than them all being under the gaming one. We now have an umbrella brand above the movies and the gaming one. So that's at The Late Night Pods. And you can join our Discord using the link in the podcast description if you want to chat movies, TV shows, and video games. If you're listening or watching on Spotify, you can also leave comments on there too. And of course, the podcast is now available on YouTube if that is your platform of choice. Our content schedule for the week beginning 20th of October looks like this. Tuesday, you get in this episode our top 10 horror movies on the Late Night Movie Podcast. On Wednesday, you are getting my Pokemon Legends Z to A review on the Late Night Gamer Podcast. Thursday, we are talking about what we've been watching recently, including Stephen's been watching I Swear. Chuck me another one, Stephen, I forgot off the top of my head.
One battle after another.
Yes, that's a key one. So look out for that. And then Friday, we'll be talking about what we've been playing, which will include more thoughts on Ghost of Yotei, I'm sure, as well as other things, such as Andy has been playing Blueprints.
Yeah, you always forgot, yeah.
I've got a lot to remember.
The problem is I've watched so much this week and we've played a lot. Yeah, there's a lot to try and remember to sort of throw out the promos.
In terms of Twitch streams, I should be streaming Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday this week, and that will most likely be Ghost of Yotei as I look to complete that before a full review the following week. Okay, let's move on to the main topic. What we're talking about today are top 10 horror movies of all time. As always, we'll collectively decide on our favorite horror movies of all time and get that into a top 10 list. I've also found a list online that we will react to afterwards and compare it to our list. This is going to be an interesting one. Obviously, last week on the gaming podcast, we did our top 10 horror games. And we've kind of come to a collective list, but then there was a bit of controversy, which has kind of spilled over into Twitch chat and also into Discord massively, which was very entertaining and maybe a whole podcast worth of conversation needs to be had at some point. Will we get some more of that today? Probably, I'm guessing, but we'll see. I think it's only fair, Andy, that if we let the resident horror expert Stephen go first on this one.
That's absolutely fine. Interested to see what his first choice is.
So this has been really hard, not just thinking about sort of what horror movies to select, but getting it down to sort of a top 10 I found relentlessly challenging. This first pick is one that I would have in my top 10. I don't necessarily say that I would put it in my personal number sort of one, but I'm going to throw out the one that I think this list probably will label as number one, and I'm going to go
That's a
with the
big
movie.
call.
I'm going to go with the movie that is regarded as the greatest horror movie ever made, and that is the 1973's The Exorcist,
Yeah,
which
I
has to be in there.
yeah, I've not seen it.
I haven't seen it
We're going to
either.
see a lot of this. We're going to hear a lot of. I've not seen that one, or I want to see that one, but I haven't seen it yet. I agree. I think whatever list we're comparing to later, we'll have it, and I'm more than happy to have it on our list if you consider it one of your favorites. Obviously, this is
Yeah,
our list, so we're not trying to
I
predict
would have
theirs.
it. I don't know exactly what level in terms of
For
like
now, we'll
I
just chuck
don't know
it
if I'd
in.
have it
Yeah.
in one, but I would definitely chuck it in. I mean, it's got a sensational performance by Linda Blair. It is generally scary, but it doesn't have jump scares. It is just so unnerving, unsettling. I saw the 50th anniversary director's cut in the cinema in 2023, and it still stands the test of time. It's got a lot of sort of backstory that people may regard now as thinking this is a bit shit, but that backstory pays off in the second act of the movie. And I wonder now, like, I'd be curious to see if you guys love it as much as sort of I
I
like
probably
it,
wouldn't,
because I think
just 'cause it's an
people,
older film.
yeah, people, I can understand people getting a bit bored by it, but once it gets itself going, particularly once you get to the house and the actual exorcists and stuff that happens to Rainey takes place, it just the shit hits the fan. And what they were able to do in terms of the prosthetics and the effects that were completed in 1973 is like unreal. It's one of the only horror movies that got 10 Oscar nominations, which is unheard of now. So I think it has to be in this list as well. Also, a really funny story. This is the only horror movie that my mother sneaked into the cinema when she was in her 20s, and she just wanted to do it because like she wanted to be a bit of a rebel, and everyone was talking about it at the time, and she watched the entire movie through her hands because she hates horror and she was so scared by it by the end. So I always found it quite amazing that then 50 years after it came out, her son is then watching that same film in the big screen. So yeah, it's one of those movies when I say it to her, she goes, "Oh, The Exorcist," like, "Oh no." But yeah, definitely has to be part of this list for me.
Yeah,
I
it's
think it's going to
fair.
be difficult for it to stay on there though, because me and Welch haven't seen it. There's so many films that we probably all have seen that will say,
Yeah,
not to say that it's a bad film, but
Yeah, I think
yeah, that's
the
fair.
difficulty would be, Andy, if me and you did watch it today, it'd be
I
very
don't think
different.
it's
Yeah.
as much. Yeah,
Um,
I can obviously say that, yeah, back then I can imagine that when this first came out, it would have been good. But then sort
yes.
of watching those sort of graphics now in today's, with all the sort of the graphics we get and the visuals and stuff, it'd be tricky to enjoy as much as I think others have back then.
Is it Scary Movie 2 that takes piss out of Exorcist?
Yeah, when they
Yeah.
all stop puking over each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Yeah.
That always makes me laugh.
Which is when I watch The Exorcist now, I always think of that scene.
Yeah.
Like, Scary Movie has ruined a number of horror movies,
Yeah.
and then they use I think it's the bit where it goes, "Your mother in here with us, Lois. Would you like to leave a message? I'm sure she gets it." And the priest in Scary Movie 2 just goes, "Yeah, Mum, will you get out of there?" And he goes, "You're no fun." And he goes, "I'm working." It's not how it plays out in The Exorcist, let me tell you.
No. Cool. We'll put it in. Don't know where it's going to end up, but we'll definitely put it in. Andy, what do you want to bring to the table first?
Oh, it's tricky.
My Little Pony.
I'll try and go for one that I know should be a solid choice, whether it stays on the list or not. But I'm going to go for one of the Smile films,
Hmm.
and I'm going to go for Smile 2 out of the two, because that's the one that I preferred. I know you prefer number one, Welchy. I think
Ooh.
Stephen's more number
Yeah.
two with me.
I'll accept it. I've got a Smile on my list.
Well, you had the first one specifically.
Yes. So another thing which we can debate. We don't have to do it this way, but I have picked one film per franchise.
Yeah, so have
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't put any
But
more than two in one
I
franchise.
don't mind if the one I pick for each franchise isn't the one. Especially this one, because I think
Yeah,
they're very, very close. So I'm fine with
The
it.
only
Yeah.
the only thing that I would say is that I mean I love both of them, and I love Smile 2 for so many reasons, and they're both sort of on par. But I would say if you asked me what was the scarier one out of the two, I would go with the first Smile. That would be
But
the only thing that would change it if we had to pick one.
this
But
list
either
is
one of those I'd be
best,
happy with.
not scariest.
then I probably would lean
Yeah.
more towards number 2.
Okay, let's put it on.
Just because of the central performance in terms of the fact that she sings, dances, has to be scared. Like, and it's, I think, a much more complex and enjoyable story, but it kind of sacrificed a little bit of its scariness. But I loved Smile too.
Yeah, but I think they definitely do make up with the scares with sort of the story. I thought after watching number 1, I was scared watching it, and then after the ending, I was like, oh bloody hell, where they're going to go from here? Then now that we've seen this thing, and then I was surprised by how good number 2 was. Then how they've managed to follow on with that, and then sort of put me back into that sort of sense of being frightened and on the edge of my seat again. So yeah, and it was like Stephen says, a quality performance from, what's her name?
That's what I'm trying to work out. What was her name again?
Is it Naomi?
It's not. I want to say it's Naomi Scott.
I think that's right. Yeah,
that sounds right.
Yeah. But yeah,
Naomi Scott.
And then that one particular scene in Smile 2 that I always like remember in my head is when she's sort of in her bedroom and all like there's like
the hand,
and there's like 10 people, and every time she looks away, they're getting closer and closer, and that scene just sticks in my mind.
I find it astounding that she didn't get an Oscar nomination or any sort of nomination for that performance. Like, it was so good. I think without her being as good, the movie falls down. Like, it's a lot of weight on her shoulders, and she absolutely kills it. I think it's one of the only few horror movies where like the songs are so catchy that like you could hear them in a club and I'd be loving life. That's how good the songs are. And I love that. I love when horror can pull other genres and bring it together. And as you rightly said, Andy, when the scares do hit, they are good. I just remember number 1 being a bit more sort of creepy, but then it was the first time that we saw the Smile.
Yeah.
So maybe when we got Smile 2, we were kind of aware about what potentially could come. But yeah, 2 amazing horror movies for sure.
Yeah, I think that's guaranteed in the top 10 for us because we all love those films. I'm going to bring probably my favorite horror movie. I could change every day. This has to be in. I don't think you've seen it, Andy, but it has to be in.
I know what it is.
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, one hell of a film. I was doing some research on it again today because I just find this film fascinating. An original budget of 15,000. I mean, come on, and they almost made 200 million. What the fuck, man? Like, what a film. I did see that, I think, because it released in 2007 in like festivals, I think, like an original release, but they re-released like a proper version in 2009. And they said a post-production budget of 200,000. So I think the official final budget is more like 200,000, but still 200,000. Getting almost 200 million.
Crazy difference.
Insane.
Do you know the director that saw that and kind of helped it get off its like feet?
No.
That's Steven Spielberg.
Really? Wow.
Spielberg saw it, and because he's got contacts at Paramount, he's not like a producer of the film, but he like got in contact with the director Oren Peli and sort of said to Paramount, "You really need to look at this." And if Steven Spielberg says it, then they did it. So yeah, I think also in 2007 it only was in select cinemas around sort of the country, and then the demand was so high that it then got released sort of worldwide. But probably one of the most successful horror movies of like the last 25 years in terms
movies,
of
like
generally
in terms of budget to final sales. Absolutely
exactly.
Insane. But yeah, it's one of the horror films. I've said it in another podcast. I don't know if it was this or a gaming one, but video horror games have kind of made me less scared of horror movies because I'm not the one that's it's not happening to me, whereas in the games it is.
Yeah.
But this film just shit scares me, man. This film just really scares me. I can picture myself in the situation so easily, and it's so believable. Even though it's paranormal, it's so believable. And for what they did with that budget, it's just absolutely insane. And the good thing about this film is the next few are pretty good as well. I think there's 6 in total, or 7 in total in this franchise.
7, yeah.
And they're not all great, but a lot of them are. And I think it's a very successful franchise. And this one, though, just hits home. The first one's I think it's the best. 2 might be up there as well, but because of what this did for horror and for this franchise, has to be in there for me.
Do changed like found footage on its head. I mean, I remember there's like this end sequence stays in my brain forever. That last shot is absolutely spine-tingling. Also, the other key moment is when like she's standing on the edge of Micah's bed, and then you see time
lapse
fast forward, and she's like there for about 4 hours,
kind of
just
like
literally standing watching him. I also love the idea that it's a movie that plays with the most safe place that you are in your life is your bedroom. And it's like after the film ends, you're sitting in bed and you're thinking of the movie that you've just watched. You just realize that you watched a movie about a demon terrorizing a person or two people that are in the exact same situation that you're in right fucking now. Like that's just a genius way. I think I've heard some people that say they find the film really boring, but it's one of those that you've got to enjoy what happens during the day, because it then makes what happens at night. Like hits so much more. And you are right. I think the first 4 are really good.
Yes,
when we get to like the marked ones, and then like Ghost Dimension, like when you actually see the activity, I'm like, no, I don't want that shit. Like as you said, I know you always say, Andy, that when you actually see what is doing the thing, you lose sight. And that's what I love about Paranormal Activity. You never actually see the entity throughout. Well, but in terms of like you don't see it morph out of that like people. What I meant to say without kind of going into spoiler territory. And that's great because it just freaks you out even more because you can't see what's doing it. So you then start to think, well, if I can't see it, what is to stop sort of us getting, affected by paranormal type shit? But yeah, one of the best horror movies out there for sure.
Before we go round the house again, does anyone have any 2025 ones to suggest? Because obviously this year has been amazing for horror.
Yeah.
Very good. And we could have easily done this video. We might even do it one day. Just top 10 horror movies from 2025. But is there any that would make your top 10? Because there are for me. But I wanted to see if there's any for you.
I wrote down more than 10 films on my list, and the ones that I was obviously playing around with were Together, Bring Her Back, and Sinners. Obviously, I know, Stephen, you won't agree with Sinners, but I think those 3 are the best ones this year. So one of those, but I don't know which one I would go with if we're just sort of choosing one.
It's what tricky. About, I mean, Bring Her Back, I would also about that.
Yeah. There is one that I actually had as a definite on my list, but you haven't seen it much, and that was Final Destination Bloodlines, just because I feel like one of those films needs to be on the list, and that's the best one for me.
I didn't think of that. I kind of thought one of you would bring Final Destination, but for some reason I didn't think of Bloodlines. But if that's the best one, I'm happy to put it in because I think Final Destination deserves a spot here.
It is definitely like the best and one of the best horror movies I've seen for a long, long time. I wondered like if Companion potentially, but that again leans more into like thriller, sci-fi.
It just depends. If it's in your top 10 labeled ever, then great.
It is labelled as a horror movie, but in terms of horror this year, I think
thriller. When I looked on the genre, it's labelled as thriller.
I swear it says horror on it. That might be one to just
I'll have a look on
double check.
Because I personally would class it as a thriller, but
it's one that sort of wears the colours of, you could put it in 3 genres, but I'm pretty confident they've labelled it as horror. Maybe because it's from the makers of Barbarian. But I do think I'd lean more towards either Together, Bring Her Back, not Sinners, but then I wouldn't get too offended if Sinners was on this list, because whilst I didn't necessarily enjoy it as much as like both you guys did, it is a horror movie, and it's one of the most successful horror movies of not just this year, but for like the last sort of 10 years. So like I would have no objection for it being on the list, even though it's not on my personal top 10.
Companion.
There's also another one.
Oh, sorry. Companion is listed as a thriller, science fiction, horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can put it in if you want to.
I don't think that's the best one though this year. In terms of if we're saying thrillers, I'd put Companion there. But if we're talking horrors, I feel like that other films are better horror films, like Together and Bring Her Back. And there's also one that I didn't like that you both liked that potentially you would want to put on this list, Weapons. So
yeah, out of everything you've mentioned, I wouldn't say Bring Her Back personally, just for my personal opinion. But obviously, this is a collective list. You're missing one, guys. 28 years later. Come on. 28 years later, it's the best one. No. It's the best one of the franchise.
Oh, no.
It deserves a spot.
I've got 28 weeks later on my list. That is the one I'd go for. If
Then
we
I'd
choose
go
the
with
28 ones.
I'd go 28 days later, but weeks would not be that far
Oh, so we'll
behind.
choose the one each.
28 years it introduces the alphas. It has incredible performances from, I can't remember the name of the actor, the kid, Jodie Comer and Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah.
And it's got Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's okay in the film. But we've reviewed this film. I love this film. I think it's a great film. I cannot wait for the next one. I'm not joking here. I would genuinely.
No, I know you love
this. Might be like my 11th in my top 10 list, but I would say this. I just want to chuck it out there. But
we say that, should we put at least one 28 film on the list because we've all got one? Would you say, is that on your?
Well, my least favorite
on your top 10.
My least favorite is Days.
I had 28 weeks later in my top 10.
And Stephen, you just don't want years, do you? So you'll probably go with weeks.
I would happily go. Weeks is better than years, and Days is much better than years as well. But I feel like I don't know what it is. The more I think about that film, the more I think it's just how fucking shit that movie is. Unless like the next chapter is going to be so amazing, like the next chapter's got to be like a 10 out of 10 for me then to appreciate the first part. But from the trailer, the second part looks even worse than the first one. So it remains to be seen. But I hated 28 Years Later.
I put Weeks on for now. I have put Together on mine. I think Together is fantastic.
I would not argue with that. Yeah,
I'd happily have Together on the list.
I've also put Sinners and Together for me are the two best horror films. Weapons maybe just behind that this year, and then for me 28 Years Later, but fine. I'd say Weapons. I'd probably say not to this list. I don't think it's a top 10 ever. Sinners and Together, I'm happy to have either or both. Put both on for now, and then we can maybe take one out once we decide on the final list.
Yeah, obviously I like both those films.
I tell you what, you like Bring It Back, you two, don't you? So I'll put all three of them in the same number, and then we can kind of decide what goes where.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna like be angry with Sinners being on there. Out of the two, obviously it'd be Together for me, and Bring Her Back, I would not be like. But actually, if we were to talk about Bring Her Back, their previous movie that they did.
Hang on, that's my. I want to bring that one up.
Oh shit! I preempted that one.
Should we agree then? Let's get rid of Bring Her Back and let's put the other one. Talk to me.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. Obviously, I'd have to take you guys a judgment on it. Obviously, I've heard your praise of it over.
Talk to Me is top 5 for me, like comfortably.
Yeah,
I know we're not talking about scariest, we're talking about best, but I think this does both for me. I find Talk to Me interesting straight away. The concept of the hand and having to like hold on to it, and then you meet a demon, whatever it was, a spirit, amazing. And the way they showcased it, amazing. The whole thing was amazing. Some of the scenes were disgusting, like disturbing, things you just will not forget. And it one of those films where I finished it, and this wasn't in the cinema, this was in home, in the comfort of our home, and I said, I don't feel right. My stomach, I don't feel good. I need to calm down. I need to relax. I need to watch something nice. And for example, Bring Her Back, I will finish that, and I was like, okay. I didn't like some of the scenes were disgusting, but I'm fine. Even Together didn't scare me as such. I just think that's a genius film.
Yeah, it's just clever.
Yeah. So
in
terms of films that scare me, Paranormal Activity and Talk to Me are two of the best. They scare the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I completely agree. I saw it. Go on, Ali.
No, I'm just going to say, if you guys want to put this on the list, then I won't argue against it. I know it's regarded as one of the best horror films, and you guys obviously love it by how much you've spoken about it over the last few episodes. So, yeah, I'd be happy for it to be on the list.
I remember going to the cinema, watching it, and sort of not expecting like a massive amount. I just thought it was going to be like one of those standard horror movies. It was at the time where a lot of horror movies had been out recently. I'd be going to late night screenings and just be like so disappointed, or be like, oh, okay, that's okay, but I've seen that like 20 times before. And thinking, right, new film, 2 new directors I've never heard of. There's a bit of a buzz from Australia, and then at the Toronto Film Festival, it got massive praise. I thought, all right, let's have a look at this, and I was absolutely blown away by it. And it is one of the few movies that generally unnerved me. I remember feeling that, like as you rightly said, on my drive home, I felt off.
Yeah.
And for a horror movie to do that, like it made me feel like all cold, and just the way that it makes you think, the scariest. It made me jump at least 3 times, and it was a couple of moments of real like wincing, and it just did its job so well, and had so many more deep meanings. And the more I watch it, I pick up new things that I hadn't seen in my first viewing. So yeah, for me, one of the best horror movies that has been there in recent years, and definitely deserves a
especially
point on this
recent
list.
years. But I think obviously we'll put it in our list as well. I'd love Andy to watch this, and we've picked it up so much. He's
I
like,
will watch
"This
it
is shit. Like, what are they on about?"
Yeah,
yeah. To be fair, you have hyped up a lot. So when I watch this, it better be one of the scariest
Big
things I've ever seen.
I guess we've just put that one in, Stephen. So Andy, what have you got else to add in? We're running out of room here, and there's so many to talk about.
Yeah, don't forget, obviously, we just spoke about Final Destination, and you haven't put that on there yet.
Yep, sorry, my bad.
I'm going to go for one that you might not agree with, but it's a different kind of horror. I checked, and it is classed as a horror before you argue, Stephen. But I think it's a film that you like anyway. But it's Split with James McAvoy.
Ooh,
and
I saw that.
I would class it. I would class it as a horror, maybe borderline thriller, but its genre is psychological horror. Is what it said when I researched it. So I was like, if that's what it's saying, then I'm going to chuck it in. His performance, obviously playing, unbelievable.
It is in the horror genre.
He plays several different characters. I'm guessing. Do you like the film then, Stephen? Because you seemed a bit on the.
No, I like it, and I think his performance is really, really good. I mean, it's a weird film. It's one of those films that it took me a couple of times to watch it to really go, oh, actually, I really enjoyed it. Because when I watched it for the first time, from what the trailer was, it wasn't quite what the trailer had built it up as. But I still think it's a good film with a great performance. Like another one where how James McAvoy didn't get an Oscar nomination for his performance in Split is like, it's almost like if it's anything to do with horror thriller, the Academy are just like, nope. I just think that there are a lot of better films that we could put in this top 10 then Split. That would be my only reason why I wouldn't put it on this list.
Potentially. For me, it's just one of those films where I watch it and I think he does such an incredible job portraying so many different characters. That's him. And like that, the story, I like the story, obviously kidnapping, and then he's sort of keeping them locked in whatever it is, basement. But yeah, just his performance alone for this film, I always remember him. Yeah. And I remember him as, I can't remember what the characters' names are, but he plays a boy, and then he obviously plays the more psycho guy.
Hedwig.
And then you got Hedwig, and then you got him when he plays Patricia. And so the combination of all those characters are played by the same person. They all stand out, and I just think that's incredible. And obviously this is the third film in the series as well. So yeah, I thought it's just a great film.
His performance is outstanding, like one of my favorites, but my issue with Split is I just didn't like the end. I didn't like the ending at all. And because of the ending, I didn't go on to watch the last film in the series because I was like, I'm just not into this anymore. Yeah. It just put me off. But that first, 3/4 of that film, I was hooked. I thought this is one of the best performances I've seen. Like I'm not exaggerating. It was unbelievable.
The performance is good, but then I also think that the story itself is not greatly written. I know it's M. Night Shyamalan, and he's either gets it absolutely spot on with like something like The Sixth Sense, and even something like Trap, which is his most recent one, which is set in the. I know you're Unbreakable more, aren't you?
No, I don't like The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But what I mean with him, like even with his last movie in Trap, which was based in the concert, like it's such a good premise, but he gets about halfway through and it just like falls completely down. And there are some moments in Split where I'm like, that is just so badly written. He's got a great performance with James McAvoy, but I feel like a better director would have done even better with that. It's James McAvoy that makes that movie for me, which is mainly why I feel like I wouldn't lean more towards having it on the list. But yeah, I get why you would think to put it on this because of how good he is.
Yeah, maybe I am being clouded by how good his performance is and good the story is. I like I said, I just remember his performance of the different characters, and that's what makes it
great.
Out for me.
He's at MCM Birmingham, Andy, and I'm like, oh man, if only he's in London, because he'd be like top priority. He's amazing.
Part of me was like happy and sad. It's like happy he's not going there because there's now so many good guests. I can't afford all of them, but also sad because he is someone I would love to meet. But he's been to another Comic Con recently. Went to a Liverpool one, so he seems to be doing the rounds. So potentially,
He's the
if he
perfect
keeps doing
person
them,
for it
someone-
because he's done Split, he's done X-Men, so he's got everything under his belt.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
I'm happy that he's not there, just because that'd be
Another
another one that
person,
I'm
yeah.
gonna be like so upset of not being able to meet.
I've put it on, but we're missing a lot of classics
Yeah,
here. We've done a lot of more
oh,
recent
yeah.
films here. I think we need to go back to the classics.
I wanted to throw out, if I could throw out two, if I may, just in terms of like the classics. I feel like we definitely need Saw on this list,
Yeah.
and we also need Scream for me on this list as well because of how iconic the
We've run out of room.
Ghostface
That's it. We're
character.
done. That's the list.
I know that's a lot,
There's
but
so many films. So.
What
I mean,
Scream?
there's so
What
many
Scream?
more.
Because I have only
I
seen
did that
Scream
one.
4.
You've only seen Scream 4 or up to Scream 4?
No, just that one. So
Oh wow!
I will
skipped
let
the
you
first three,
two
watched the
be.
fourth one.
I just went to the cinema. At the time, it was in the cinema.
That's
Scream
so
4.
random. Yeah.
So I'll let you two kind of guide me on
How
this
have
one.
you not seen the first Scream? That's crazy.
I
I feel
would-
like that's the one horror film that everyone must have watched. Like,
Yeah,
Maybe we'll
I
do
would pick the
Scream in review or
original.
something. You pick the
Yeah,
original.
because of it, he's got like Matthew Lillard and the actor who plays Billy in it. It sets the tone for the whole franchise, and it just rewrites the rules of horror. It's one of, if not the best opening sequences to a horror movie you will ever see. It's just brilliant. I love Scream 2. I know we spoke about it before. I'm not a huge fan of Scream 3. I love 4, and I love the most recent ones in 5 and 6. But you go back to where it all starts, the original. It's just great, and has just got fantastic casts, the performances in. And shout out has to go to Matthew Lillard. He's as Stu. He is absolutely unbelievable. The amount of stuff that he tells you, not from what he says, but what he does with his facial expressions, like, it's just incredible. It's mad when I think about it that when I first saw him in Scooby Doo, not realizing that he had loads of these sort of adult performances that I then came around to sort of after. I think he's such a great actor. I'm so excited he's actually returning to Scream 7. So I'm like buzzing for that in March of next year. But I don't know if you agree, Andy, if going with the original.
yeah, it's the one I would choose. I think it's the one I like the most. And like you say, sometimes it's the first one that kickstarts the franchise, and the fact that it's still going strong now shows you just how successful it's been amongst horror fans. So, and the Ghostface mask is obviously iconic. I know there's obviously a couple of other classics like Halloween and
Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. Yeah,
this is going to get tough.
I grew up more with Scream. I wasn't obviously always into horror films, but Scream was the one that I somehow did watch when I was younger. So for me, I've only seen Halloween more recently. I know we went to the cinema to watch one. I saw the last couple of Saws and actually quite like the last Saw that we saw as well.
Whoa.
Cinema.
You haven't seen the original Saw?
I don't think I've seen the first Saw, but I watched Saw
that's
Jigsaw.
iconic.
Is it called Saw Jigsaw? There was one on Netflix.
Yeah, you got the Jigsaw one in 2017, and then the one we saw at the cinema, Andy, was Saw 10.
Yeah, but I really like number 10. That story, the way
I've
that
not
it
seen
went.
10. No spoilers.
Okay.
But
You need to watch 10.
I know. I've seen every other one. We've got 10. We've got 10 films. Well, actually, we've got 11. So now every time we add one in, we're getting one off.
Yeah. Would you sorry, Welchy, just on Saw, would you pick them the original?
Yes, I would. I think it's the twist is just iconic to me. Okay, we're gonna very short story here. I watched Saw on my own, and I remember I went downstairs. I watched it on DVD. Went downstairs to my parents. I was like, "That's one of the best films I've ever seen." Like, I did not see the ending coming. Like, I was like, "Oh my god, what a film!" And they was like, "If you like that, you should watch Sixth Sense." And I was like, "Oh yeah, another film like Saw." And I watched Sixth Sense, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And they said, "Did you not like the twist?" I was like, "I don't give. This is just not good."
You found it? Did you find it? People do find the Sixth Sense slow and boring.
Oh my god!
If you get through that, the twist at the end is just like
I think there was
a poll, but they said that is the best twist ever in any movie. That twist at the end of Sixth Sense.
Not for me. I get it. I do get it, but not for me. I prefer the twist in Saw.
The first Saw, again, similar to what we just spoke about with Scream, sort of sets the benchmark. It kicks off the franchise, and I love all of them. The only one that I would say comes close is actually Saw 10, the most recent one,
Wow.
just because I think it's the best written
Cool.
Saw installment. It's got an emotional punch, and it's the
Is that
first
the one?
one.
Correct me. Does this go back to like it's a prequel? Like it's in between
It's
like 3 and
between
4.
Saw 1 and 2. No, 1 and 2.
Oh, 1 and 2. Okay.
So it takes place sort of, it's like Saw 1.5
Cool.
is kind of what you could label it as. But I think maybe because at that time I was having a personal connection to having somebody that had been affected by cancer. So, but it was the first and only time that I've watched a Saw movie where the people that John Kramer is targeting, I was cheering at what he puts them through because they're so fucking horrible that they deserve everything that gets to them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's clouding sort of maybe my judgment, but I think generally it is a very, very well told story. The only one that comes close is the original. So we'll probably put the original on there.
Yeah.
It kind of kickstart, but I think there's been a couple ones in the sequels, like the torture set pieces.
A lot of them are good, and they get some of them are cleverer in terms of the torture. No, it's not clever, but more disturbing. The one is definitely not the best in that sense, but I just think it's a classic, and it's
the sequels basically become just torture set pieces.
Yes,
I mean, the story just gets all over the place. Like I would never give Saw the award. Like, you know, it's one of those where, the camera's here, but if you just peer slightly to the left, there's that person or that person, and you're like, this is so far fetched.
Mm-hmm.
But then I have to rationalize that by going, not here really for the story of Saw.
Yeah.
I'm here just the real inventive, intricate torture set pieces. So yeah, I'm kind of arguing with myself, going, let's go with number 1. So I'm happy with that.
Cool. Right. This is going to get tough. So I'll chuck one out. I think it should be here. You two may disagree.
Okay.
I'll accept either the first or the second film in this franchise. Aliens.
That'd be down to you guys. Obviously, I haven't seen them all properly other than the latest ones.
I know that the sequel goes a bit more actiony, but it is still horror.
Yeah.
I think a top horror list without Alien is crazy to me.
I would go. Sorry, Eddie, go on.
No, I was just going to say, there's a lot of other horror films that we haven't even mentioned I think are probably better than Alien in terms of horror. Like, I know there's going to be some that Stephen agree with me on as well. Like, I know you haven't seen it, Welchy, but Terrifier, Annabelle, Conjuring films. Like, I feel they're all better than Alien.
Conjuring. We've got like 10 minutes, by the way, before we have to go into this other list. We need to get this done.
If I was going to put one down, I'd put Alien, because the way that I look at the first 4 Aliens, Alien for me is the horror movie. Aliens is a sci-fi action. I know it's labelled in the horror genre, but James Cameron didn't do it as a horror. So if I was going to pick one,
and we don't
it would be the first. Alien 3 is a disaster, but it makes up for me with that shot like at the end of What Happens to Ripley, and then Alien 4 is just weird, but I quite like weird films. It is fucking so peculiar. I still watch that film and go,
in it, Andy.
Yeah.
It's just a weird film.
You kind of watch it, you go halfway through thinking, I don't even know what really is going on here, but it's just so weird that it's quite compelling. So I wouldn't put Aliens, but I'd put Alien. But I agree with what Andy said. I think that there are not more iconic, because the Alien film, I feel like the list that we're going to look at is probably going to have Alien in that, personally. I'd be surprised if it doesn't. But I do think there are better ones.
Andy, are you okay if we move Split?
Yeah, I knew Split would be the first one to be knocked out. I just thought I'd chuck it out there as a sort of a mention. Even
what's next to get kicked off this list? I don't know what's next. Personally, I'd pick The Exorcist because I've not seen it, but I think it should be in a typical top 10 list.
Yeah, obviously I haven't seen it either, so I would obviously knock that off as well because I haven't seen it. But and it's an older film. Like, what about the Ring films? Like, I really like the first.
I've not seen The Ring.
I had the Ring in sort of my list, which wasn't even 10. I mean, we haven't even touched the surface of. I know we spoke about Halloween, but like Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th,
There's another classic. I just saw it on my list, The Shining.
Yeah, The Shining will be. They regard that as like the second best horror movie ever made.
Be on that other list we look at, yeah.
What we get rid of? I don't know how it is. So okay. Let's put a category here: slashers. I don't think we can have all the slashers in here.
No.
Okay.
We've got Scream.
So we go for Scream.
No, I'm not saying we don't have. I'm not saying one. We can have 2 or maybe 3. but I don't think because otherwise you can fill it with Halloween, you can fill it with Terrifier, you can fill them all.
Yeah.
I think we should max 2 or 3. I'll let you two decide if it needs to be more than 2. I'm happy to have 2.
If we're talking about slashers, I think if we actually narrow it down to just one, then it probably would be Scream for me. For me, Terrifier is literally like a feather away from
I'm
kind
happy
of
to put Terrifier in.
overtaking it. But for me, I have them on. It's always this be what horror character do you love more, Ghostface or Terrifier? I can't answer that question. But art is kind of like Ghostface is sort of here, and art is like now sort of level.
Yeah.
But it's only been in the last few years with the sequels and then like all of the pops, the fact that like art is so popular now in pop culture. Like he's now in that list of Ghostface, Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers. But I think Scream probably has to stay because of the longevity and how iconic it has been for a longer period of time.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you both prefer Terrifier 3 or Final Destination Bloodlines?
See, I put Terrifier 3 as my movie of the year last year. Fuck. I'd probably lean towards Terrifier 3.
Andy?
Personally.
I think I'd go more towards Final Destination.
You two can fight this one out.
Like, that is like the story for Final Destination is
yeah,
so good
I don't disagree
with what they do. Whereas Terrifier is just all up. Like, I don't really fully understand the story yet, because obviously the fourth one's going to wrap up quite a lot of what's happened so far. So I think once the fourth film comes out, I then might look at number 3 and say, yeah, that's better than Bloodlines.
I think Terrifier
answers to those set scenes.
I think Terrifier 3 is more of the horror movie though. That's the thing. I think it's more horror in terms of.
It's more horrifying, but I don't think Bloodlines are slacking in what they show in terms of gore and their kills and stuff. Okay, think about without ruining anything, the hospital scene, Stephen. Like, alone.
It doesn't have to be Bloodlines. We can get rid of something else. It's just one that I have not seen, so I thought it's an easy one for you two to kind of say. Actually, I prefer this one.
To be fair, if I had to, out of everything on that list, I'd actually get rid of 28 Weeks Later and put Terrifier 3 in.
Andy?
I think Terrifier is better than any of the 28 movies, personally.
I'm happy to do that, because it should be 28 years.
Because also, the way that I was like looking at it when you asked that question, I gave Final Destination Bloodlines, I think, a 9.
Yeah.
And Terrifier 3 would be a 10 out of 10. So that's the only reason why I lean more towards that in terms of rating. But I do think that even though 28 Weeks Later is masterpiece, 28 Days Later is masterpiece, 28 Years Later, pile of shit, but we don't talk about that. But yeah, I think Terrifier, it supersedes that. But if you told me about all the other ones, I don't know what else we could get rid of personally.
I think we have to get The Exorcist, because...
Oh, we know.
I feel like I know film that we've all seen in The Conjuring, one of those films.
This is our list. It's not the list. It's not like
it's
what
not
this list is going to be. We've got to accept that some of the films that we haven't seen, or some of the films that are going to be on this other list, and most lists online, are going to be more, what's the word? The actual top 10, like blah, 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 IMDb list, whatever. But this is what we like, and for me, obviously, the only one here I haven't seen other than Terrifier and Final Destination Bloodlines and Scream is The Exorcist.
Yeah.
But then...
And that's the only one I haven't seen as well.
You don't have to kick it off, I'm just saying we would.
Yeah.
So I don't want to make this harder, because we haven't got long. We've got 15 minutes now to the end of the podcast, so we've got about 5 minutes to talk about our list. I'm just going to chuck off some films that we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get Out. Hereditary.
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
It.
Yeah.
I love it. I love Pennywise. Talking about characters, he's one of my favorites. A Quiet Place, I don't think that's a top 10 of all time, but I think it's a great horror movie.
Agree.
And Sinister, we watched recently.
That was very good. Yeah. It's tricky, because we can't chuck them all in.
Is there any others that you guys are thinking we're missing one here?
Well, I'm surprised Stephen hasn't mentioned them yet, and I was getting ready to say no way, but I thought he was going to bring up Pearl and Maxine and X at some point, so I'm glad he hasn't.
I wouldn't put those on a top 10. I love them all, and they're great sort of horror movies, but they're not to the levels of like The Exorcist, Terrifier. Didn't
you say Pearl was like a 10 out of 10 though?
No, he
Didn't
gave it
give it
like a 7.
Oh,
yeah. I think I wouldn't have gone
I
that
like
high
it.
on Pearl. Yeah, no, because there are different levels, but I love that universe. If anything, the only one that probably would be in the conversation is maybe X, but like it wouldn't be one that I'd be massively disheartened if it wasn't.
Yeah.
And all those ones, Welchy, I would happily have all of those that you just outlined on this list, but obviously we can't have them all.
Yeah, exactly. I'll let you two think about any others you want to add because I'm done with mine.
The only one that I'm a bit sort of maybe we take out Alien for It.
I love it. But I see your point because if I had to pick, because the other one here, Sinners Together, I kind of feel like keeping them as like our 2025 option, although we've got Final Destination Bloodlines as well.
Yeah.
It is tricky because for me, I would kick Alien out straight away and put in one of for either it, Annabelle, The Conjuring, one of those.
The Conjuring's not here,
Ring.
guys. I personally wouldn't pick The Conjuring, but I know you two love The Conjuring.
I'd put the first Conjuring in, or even actually no, I'll put the Conjuring 2. Yeah, sorry, I was about to say the Conjuring 2. Actually, I would have, but again, if we did like a top 20, then great. But like in terms of top 10, out of all of those, if I was going to kick out one, it would be Alien.
For The Conjuring 2 or it?
For it,
I think we'd all go for it, wouldn't we?
Cool.
Like you
I'm happy with that.
You really put it, don't you? Actually, so. But
I also take
off this list.
No, I it's the only one that I want to keep on this list just because it is the iconic horror movie.
It might be on their list. Me and Welch haven't seen it.
We
so
haven't
that's
seen
one
it. It's a tough one to keep in for our list.
And it's 1973. Like I know if I watched it, I wouldn't like it right now.
Yeah, but then you also think that there's not on this list. There's not been movies that we've all seen.
No, but at least 2 people have seen it. So even
at least 2
have
have
seen it because you guys. You're the only person that seems to exist this, so it's really that's on your list. It's not on our list.
It's a good point. It's a good point. At least 2 have seen every other film, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Let's think about that one. But I want to read through our listener comments. I asked on Discord for our listeners to write in. Jack wrote in with no particular order. He said Paranormal Activity, The Conjuring, 28 Days and Weeks Later, Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Insidious, which we've not mentioned.
Yeah.
Sinister, The Babadook, which I've not seen.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Which we just mentioned. And Cloverfield, which I had to check that. That is considered a horror. I love Cloverfield, one of my favourites, but I wouldn't put it on a top 10 list for horror films.
I wouldn't either.
He also wanted to shout out Amityville Horror with Ryan Reynolds, which is a good film as well.
Yeah.
And then Bigsy wrote in. He said, I'm not giving my top 10 because I think you lot will end up saying them anyway. But gone with a top 10, I think others won't pick. So more of like an alternative top 10.
Outside the box.
So this might give us some ideas. The Wolf's Creek, Cabin Fever, The Hills of Eyes.
Oh, I love Cabin
remake.
Fever. Yeah.
Wrong Turn, The Descent.
Yep.
13 Ghost. I don't know what that is. Barbarian, Eden Lake, which I know you like, Stephen.
One of my favourites.
Hostel and Evil Dead remake with an honourable mention, Andy, for Pearl.
Oh,
do you know what?
No.
The more I think Bigsy's just a legend. Like his thought process is so on point. Like what a man! What a man!
It doesn't help us.
It doesn't help. I know.
Cabin Fever, great. Evil Dead, like brilliant. Babadook, It Follows is another one that you could easily have.
Yeah, I've got It Follows on my list. Yeah,
that's a great horror movie.
Are we agreeing to remove The Exorcist because only one of us has seen it?
I think because of the list that all the other ones, at least 2 of us or all of us. I'm happy with that, but I feel like Exorcist will be number 1 on this other list that we look at.
Do we replace it or do we just put Sinners and Together as separate ones? Because we've got like minutes to go.
I feel like we have to replace it.
Going in with what? Alien?
No.
Conjuring 2? Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'd be happy with that.
Because you 2 have seen it, I haven't, but I've started the franchise, so I'm aware of it, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you not watch number 2 then?
I've watched Conjuring 1 and The Nun.
Oh, okay. Cool.
You're watching it in timeline order rather than actual big order, aren't you?
Yes. I can't remember what we're doing, actually. I think you're right.
Oh, like you said that. That's why you went to The Nun.
I think you're right.
Then, yeah.
So we've got to very, very quickly put this in our order because this is not the right order, obviously. So what would be
That's
number
gonna
one
be so
here?
tricky to do, man.
Would we all agree?
I feel like you guys
No
are
one's
going
going
to
to
lean
agree
towards.
here, are we?
I feel like one of you two are going to put Talk to Me and Paranormal Activity near the top.
I would put Paranormal Activity right at the top, like
I,
as in top
I'd
3.
be happy to agree. I'd be happy to do that
I'd
because I
happily
know
put it
how
in
many
the
people
top
talk
3.
about it.
Okay. How high would you have Terrifier?
I think I'd have Smile near the top.
Maybe I would have maybe
Personally.
Smile 2 at 3, and where Terrifier 3 is at 4.
Oh, hang on. What the
I'm
fuck's
quite
going
happy
on here?
with, because I'm thinking maybe we put Talk to Me as number 2
Oh.
potentially.
Okay, let's
So
start
hard
from the
though, because I
bottom.
love
What's the
Saw
worst?
and I love
guys'
Scream.
judgment.
What's the worst film here?
Um,
Because I'm only going to say
obviously, I'd be
films I
leaning
haven't seen.
towards something I
Obviously,
haven't seen.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say Saw. Like,
Oh
Oh,
no!
I haven't
that
seen it.
hurts.
See, I was going to say Saw's top 5, but this is going to be
Yeah,
so
I'd
hard.
put Saw in the
We've
top
really
5.
got to move this on as well.
What have you deleted as well?
No, I haven't put in Conjuring 2 yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing you two would put that high.
I'd put it high.
We can't put everything high though. It's the problem. We keep saying it to every single one.
I would put The Conjuring above Terrifier.
Yeah, that's fair.
To be fair, I'm looking at this list and it doesn't offend me.
I'd be happy with that because I
Yeah.
feel like you can put it in any order really, and we're going to be happy with it because they're all great films. I think it's very hard to pinpoint 1 to 10 with these films.
Sinners Together might be high.
Yeah. Do you know
Although
what's
I fucking love
interesting
them
though?
both. So,
Even though Paranormal Activity is our number 1 in terms of like the best horror movie of all time, there's a lot of other horror movies that I would probably lean more towards if I was doing my own individual list. But then I realized
yeah,
I
but it's a
can't.
collective list.
If you said to me like, what is like my favorite horror movie of all time is Eden Lake, but that doesn't mean that that's the best horror movie that's ever been
Yes.
made. You know, we could do one. What is the best and what's our favorite are subjective to be different. So I'm not offended by that list. I think that's pretty much.
We all happy?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Cool. Okay, well, let's have a look at the list I found online. That means I need to juggle what we're doing here. So I need to change this to...
It'll be interesting to see what their description is for this list because are they going to go down the traditional classic horror route with like Halloween and stuff, or?
So, did you see that?
No.
It's still on the screen, isn't it? Top one is. I'm surprised. What is that?
Oh.
Else?
What are you looking at? I can't see what you're looking at.
Does it say?
I thought it says Psycho.
No, that's part of the title. That's part of the title. So it's like saying Psycho might be in it.
Oh, sure. Well, that's the one that we didn't actually mention. Psycho's definitely going to be on this list. It's like the first ever horror movie, really, that hit the mainstream.
It wouldn't be on our list. I haven't seen it. I don't think Welchy has either.
It's a great film.
Okay, I've just got to fix the picture because it's gone crazy. Hang on. There we go. So, this is The Standard, which is a newspaper company in the UK or London. I can't show you anything higher or lower than what I'm showing you because obviously it will go into the list. But basically, it is top 10. Do you know how hard it was to find a top 10? There were so many websites with top 50, top 100, top 30.
Yeah.
And then there's some
so
top 10 lists where they don't really have a description. So you just see them all straight away. So it was hard to find this list. So this is why we got this one. So, written by Harry Fletcher, 26th of October 23. So Sinners and Together are not here. But obviously we're not predicting the list, we're just comparing our list.
And no 2024. So if this list is really shit, guys, Harry Fletcher's the next one on our little list of people that we've got to destroy.
Yes.
A big kill list all over again.
We've got 5 minutes, so unfortunately it's going to be very quick, but let's go for it. Number 10, The Fly.
Oh, okay.
I was literally, they're reshowing out this cinema, and I was reading the description for it, watched the trailer, I thought, that looks fucking shit.
The Fly is it's a proper, what's the word, body horror
David Cronenberg film. It's not as good now. Like I watched it not in the cinema, but I watched it like recently, and
It's not bad.
yeah,
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's not. I don't think it should be on this
Top 10 is
personally.
crazy. Yeah, top 10 is
Yeah,
crazy.
there's so many better films than that. Surely,
to be honest.
I obviously haven't seen it.
I've seen number 9, and I totally
Yeah, we do.
number 9.
The Blair Witch Project. So got to be careful here
Yeah,
because obviously audio listeners. Blair Witch Project at number 9. I've not seen this, but this is the found footage film. Right?
Yeah. It's the movie when it came out. It was so convincing that people actually thought it was real, and that they actually did a marketing campaign where you could report the actors as missing, and it kind of set the tone for Paranormal Activity. It's like the mother and father of the found footage genre. A bit boring now, I have to say, but I understand why it's on this list. Like when it gets going towards its later stages, it is really creepy.
My mum always says it's her scariest, so I think it's like a certain era of people who would say this scared the shit out of them. But
it's so real. That's why it's so realistic that you generally just believe that you're watching an amateur film.
Let's go on to number 8, Rosemary's Baby.
Oh yeah, it's a classic horror movie.
One of our films on this list. Another one that we didn't mention that might pop up, Midsummer. That's meant to be quite scary.
Oh, yeah. What's her name? Yelena from Yelena from Marvel.
Yeah, it's the from the same director who did Hereditary, Midsummer.
I know a lot of people.
Oh my god, what's her name? It doesn't matter.
Who she play in?
She plays Yelena. She plays Thunderbolts. Yeah.
Florence
Pugh. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've not seen Rosemary's Baby. Number 7, Halloween. Fair enough. We'll kind of assume that might be a lot of old films here. We're not anything past 2000 to be nice.
Yeah, true.
It started the slash on. I get why it's on there though.
Oh yeah. Number 6, Bride of Frank. Fuck me.
Oh, a very old horror movie.
I never liked those films, man. Like they're always terrible.
Well, of course, it came out in 1935.
No, but I mean, like even the remakes and stuff of like Frankenstein. I always watch them. They just don't seem
apparently
that well.
The new one's good, Andy.
Yeah, I agree though with you, Andy. I've never enjoyed the Frankenstein movies. I think the character looks cool, but that's about it.
Number 5, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah, another classic.
Inspired by Ed Gein, which I'm currently watching.
Yeah.
Number 4.
One of the most grossest horror. Sorry. I was saying one of the most gruesome horror movies that doesn't actually show any blood. Toby Hooper at his best. Great film.
The Shining, which was mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it'd be on there.
I knew that was going to be on this list.
Number 3, Psycho.
Yeah.
Again, inspired by Ed Gein.
Imagine if they do a list over the 2000s, be a completely different list.
Yeah, this is not looking good for us. And as you can tell from the URL at the top, 10 best horror movies. It's not saying from the before 2000s. It is just the top 10.
No. Yeah, no. They've obviously just gone for the classics.
Number 2,
which makes sense.
A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Fair
I'm
enough.
surprised that Scream's not in here personally, because I think I know what number one. No, I know what number one's going to be. It's going to be one at the very beginning. It's got to be surely.
Oh, they're keeping us in suspense. A lot of suspense. There it is, The Exorcist.
Yeah, knew it, absolutely knew it.
Bloody hell.
Wow, we had 0
and,
there.
And the thing is, though, The Exorcist is the greatest horror movie that's ever been made. It absolutely is.
That's fine. I can appreciate that. It's just obviously I think maybe I will watch it one day, but I think it's just too late now for me.
I wonder how many of these horror lists actually lean more towards like the older films, because I get like horror was great back then, but some of the horror films you get now and how creative they can be and the way that they look, like they're incredible. So I know it's 2023, but
we're going to be just over the hour mark anyway now, so we might as well just do a quick other list. So I've got another tab here open.
Okay.
This is one of the ones where it's too cramped, so you can see them all pretty much straight away. And I think it's the top 20. So we'll just quickly run through this one. So the standard one, I personally don't like this list because it's none of my favorites.
No, I don't like it.
But I'm not going to say it's a bad list because I get it.
No.
Like,
apart from The Fly and Frankenstein, all other 8, I'm more than happy for them to be in there.
So this one is coming. Disappeared. Okay, now it's back. I've got to change it because it's a different. It's a different place. It's in the top 20 from flickchart.com. Hang on, let me just move everything. That should do the trick. And voila. So it starts at number 20 with Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Number 19, Rosemary's Baby, which we just had on the other list. Number 18, Frankenstein, but the prequel,
Man.
the first film in that franchise, I guess.
Wow.
17, Repulsion, 1965. We still haven't seen a single film in the 2000s yet.
That is mental.
16, here we go, 2000.
Oh, yeah.
Let the Right One In. I've not seen this.
Yeah, it's good. Again, it's really slow burn. I actually watched it at school for a media project, and I know they did a remake actually of it.
At what?
The first one.
At school? What age is this?
It was at 15. I was in year 10.
Okay, fine. Okay.
But I think we had to sign consent forms for it,
Yeah.
like from our parents, to let us be able to watch it. We had like I think the director come in and speak to us. So like, pretty
really?
cool
Wow,
actually.
that's
Yeah,
really cool.
but it's dubbed in. I think it was set in Sweden, so it's got like Swedish subtitles in the original. Bit boring, but like one of those movies that over time, as I've got older, I've appreciated.
Yeah,
more.
respected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you mean English subtitles, by the way, Stephen?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it, exactly what I meant.
15, Suspiria.
Never heard
Never
that
seen
one.
it.
77. 14, The Innocents in the 60s.
Bloody hell.
13, The Exorcist. Much lower than the other list.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
12, Predator. I'm not sure that's a horror.
That's
Predator?
not really a horror. Definitely not a horror.
I'd say
That's a
it's
horror movie.
an action film,
Hmm.
personally. But fine.
I already hate this
Definitely
list.
this film.
Yeah, it's not. It should be here.
11, Young Frankenstein. Big Frankenstein fans here.
No way. Why are they loving those films so
10,
much?
The Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh,
No, you're taking the
please,
piss.
bro. This list is shit.
Number 9, Diabolique. Number 8, The Thing. Getting
Yeah.
better now.
Okay. Even loves that.
Number
Yeah, I love
7,
The Thing.
Shaun of the Dead.
Okay.
Okay.
Horror comedy. Number 6, Jaws.
No. Fuck off.
Horror. Eh.
That's,
We're-
yeah.
Borderline.
Borderline.
Yeah, very borderline. I wouldn't count it as a horror movie, but
It's
I'm
not even a
not
good
massively
film.
upset by that. Whoa.
Number 5, Psycho. Okay, that's obviously highly respected. Number 4,
Yeah.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Happy
Okay.
with that.
Okay. Well, this is the same list that's got Predator on it, so I wouldn't. I wouldn't really trust what these guys are saying, to be honest.
Number 3, The Shining.
Shining.
Why have number one then?
Number 2, Silence of the Lambs. Fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon they've got a classic.
Alien. Wow.
Alien.
What a
Wow.
list. Great
Oh,
Is
list.
that how you chose this list? You looked at this list, didn't you?
I didn't know. I honestly didn't.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. I mean, I opened it and scrolled to the bottom because I
That's
could see
two
it was-
lists. Though.
Yeah.
No Scream, no Terrifier, no Friday the 13th.
I don't know
You
when
can
this
obviously
list was
tell when
made.
people have a when they have a particular like towards certain genres or certain films franchises.
This deep-
Frankenstein,
I mean, there's
Alien,
about
obviously.
four,
key here.
like four
Yeah,
fucking
three,
Frankenstein films. Like,
There you
that's
go,
not
look.
fair.
Oh, they've got every film ever here. Wow, they ranked every horror film. Wow. That would be pretty insane if they have.
That's
Anyway,
a terrible list. That's a terrible list.
yeah, not the best list. I think our list was better. See,
Yeah, I
Definitely
agree.
more current.
Definitely more
sure.
current. Yeah, maybe some people would say that ours is too current, but this is really annoying how it does this all the time. But there you go. You can see our list again on the screen. Paranormal Activity number 1. Rough top 10 in terms of order anyway.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity number 1, Conjuring 2 at number 2, Smile 2 third. That's probably a bit too high for me. Terrifier 3 at 4, Talk to Me at 5, Sinners / Together at 6, 7 Final Destination Bloodlines, 8 Saw, 9 Scream, and 10 It. Definitely a much more modern list than what we've been seeing.
Yeah.
But let us know what you think. Obviously, thank you to Big Z and Jack for sending your suggestions. But also, anyone else listening, let us know what you think of the list, our list, and then the other lists online. Do you lean more towards those classics or more towards our more modern take, which I don't know if any of our film... Oh, Scream's pre-2000.
1996.
Yeah. we're almost fully 2000s there then. Yeah, let us know. And in the meantime, Andy, where can people follow you?
So you can find me over on Twitch at Andy_Y_07, or also over on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at AB Collectibles or AB Collectibles24. Thank you very much.
And Stephen, where can people follow you?
Yeah, just on my TikTok at DJ Peppers. Analyze and Arsenal will be back this week. Yeah, it will be back this week. And on my YouTube of the same channel name as well. Thank you very much.
And I need to get back to my notes. Thank you all for listening to the Late Night Movie Podcast. We really hope you've enjoyed it. Next week, I am so unprepared. What are we doing next week? Next week we are doing our top horror villains or characters.
Oh,
That's going to be another tricky one.
That's going to be in a Mount Rushmore type of episode where we pick our 4. So
Cool.
Look forward to that. If you enjoyed the episode, please do give us a follow, leave a rating, and tell a friend about us. You can follow us on all social medias with the handle at The Late Night Pods, and be sure to join our Discord community using the link in the podcast description. In the meantime, I've been your host, Welchy, and my guests have been Andy.
Yeah, thank you as always, guys. It's been a pleasure and another interesting list. And hopefully our Mount Rushmore will go a bit smoother.
And Stephen.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure always. And actually one that there wasn't much controversy. We kind of all agreed for once. Yeah, look forward to the Mount Rushmore.
I still think 28 years later should be there. But
apart from that.
Thank you for all for listening, and we will see you in the next episode.